everybody, and welcome to Talya Full Tilt. I'm Talya Ginsburg. So I was searching for a unique, interesting story to cover, and I stumbled across the Sunburst convention of celebrity impersonators. And I am so excited that I was able to speak to the creator of the convention. He is a natural performer, a natural speaker. This could have been easily 3 hours long. So without further ado, here is Greg Thompson.
My name is Greg Thompson. I am producer of the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators and Tribute Artists in Orlando, Florida. So I'm a licensed talent agent in the state of Florida. I produce this convention and I still entertain. And like I said, I've always tried to keep from getting a real job. So far, so good.
Greg's first experience as performing happened when he was in 8th grade and his brother joined his college clogging team.
It's like country square dancing, country tap dancing.
When Greg would visit his brother at college, the clogging team was typically down one dancer. So Greg would sub in, and he had such a great time that this inspired him to start his own team.
And there was a girl in my class who was a friend of mine, Grace Shaw, and I knew she knew how to clog. And I said, I want to start my own clogging team. Would you help me recruit people? And we'll teach them how to clog, and we'll go to festivals, and we'll go to competitions. And I just had these ideas, had no clue what I was doing.
11 boys and 11 girls joined, making them a team of 24.
We were called the Strawberry Cloggers. My hometown in North Carolina, we are known, we've been having a strawberry festival there for nearly 100 years. And the town was strawberry everything. We didn't know what we were doing, but you know, people were calling me at my house, and sometimes they would literally drive to my house. There was no internet back then. And I was booking entertainment back then, and I didn't know that that's what I would end up doing for a living.
Meanwhile, his brother, a singer and dancer, started his career at a theme park called Carowinds. He was in a show there called Hooray for Hollywood.
So when I was 16, my sister and I went to stay with him one summer, and we saw him in this show. And I was like this. You get paid for this? People give you money to do this? And I was like, I got to be in show business. I've got to be.
With a ton of performing and emceeing experiences under his belt, Greg's impersonating career began when he started working at Universal Studios in Florida.
So I moved to Orlando and I worked at Medieval Times. I worked in the theme parks, and I started my own entertainment company. And one day we got a call for an Austin Powers impersonator. And I'm like, who are we going to get to do that? And my wife was like, you? They said, we want an Austin Powers impersonator because the weekend of their opening, they were also showing Austin Powers 2 was coming out that weekend. So I watched the movie like 30 times on VHS and started doing Austin Powers for the grand opening of a movie theater at Universal Studios, and the phone started ringing. Became a local celebrity impersonator, met other local celebrity impersonators, and they were doing these conventions for celebrity impersonators in Vegas. And I'm like, somebody should have one here. And a lady that I respected very much put it out on the internet, which was kind of new. And said, Greg Thompson's having a convention in Orlando. And
now it's happening. Now you got to do it.
You got to do it. You got to do it. She sent, I think it was like 4,000 emails she sent that out to. This lady, B. Fogelman, who kind of headed up there. This is before Facebook. She had a website that you would go and you would join. You'd pay like $35 a year, and she would give you updates. And you could call her and go, I'm thinking about doing this. But yeah, I was like, I can't go to that convention in Vegas. And I literally sent her a message and said, I wish somebody would have one in Orlando. If they did, I'd go. And that's when she misunderstood what I was saying. She was the hub of the celebrity impersonator industry. She was who you went to. But my wife had worked in corporate America, and she put on seminars. So all over the country for Visa and MasterCard. So she would book hotels to have seminars to show people how to use their credit card processing. They were with banks and things like that. So when I came home and told her, it kind of turned into well, I know how to book banquet rooms at hotels, and you know how to put on shows. So let's give it a shot. So we did. And the first one we had, I think we had about 45 impersonators to come, and we had about 25 or 30 talent agents to come, but everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
And people were going, Greg, this is good. Keep doing it. So the next year we tried it again, and it just grew and grew and grew.
The convention always takes place Wednesday through Sunday, each day offering different events for the performers, audience members, and even talent agents. Pre-convention gatherings for the performers, seminars for marketing yourself, insurance, contracts, social media, showcases for talent, and of course,
Friday night this year, we're doing something for the first time ever, and I'm so excited about it. It's called the Sunburst Gala of Celebrity Impersonators. So it's like the Met Gala for celebrity impersonators. So everybody's going to bring out their best costumes, and it's going to be semi-formal for everybody else. So we're inviting talent agents and entertainment committees and the general public. We're going to have an hour of showcasing of the best that we have. So you might see Stevie Nicks and Dolly Parton and Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and Elvis and Marilyn Monroe all in one show. We're going to have photo stations. Have you like selfie stations?
Yeah, for sure.
So people can go around and do that. We're going to have a cash bar. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have a red carpet entrance. And this year we have Angela Ramos. She was on The Tonight Show as a correspondent for 5 years, and she is so funny. She's going to be interviewing people, and it's just going to be a big blowout party.
It's a party. The Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators is no stranger to press.
Most of the time they're doing it not in the best interest of our industry. We are a fun industry. We are funny and we love to have a great time, but we don't like people to come in and make fun of us. And we are an easy target. Look at all these people. They think they're famous. We've only had one bad experience. And I'm not going to mention any names, Jay Leno. I had to come to terms just a few years ago and go, you know what? People don't get us. People just don't get us. They're like, Greg, you put on a costume. You're a grown man and you put on fake teeth and a wig and glasses. And I'm like, yeah, and people pay me really well for it. So one of the things, our catchphrases at the Sunburst Convention is go where you're celebrated. And I said, you're celebrated at the Sunburst Convention, and people come in and they're like, oh my God, in my hometown, I'm the weird person for dressing up like Marilyn Monroe, but I come here and
room of you.
Everybody here does what I do.
In 2015, a documentary called Just About Famous, following Greg and 6 other performers, was released.
I said, you know what? The story behind the impersonators is much more interesting than coming in and just pointing your finger at us. And they came in and they got to know the entertainers. They're real people, they're just, and they were like, this is fascinating. So they followed the convention, and they followed 6 or 7 different entertainers and filmed their personal life and how they got into it and stuff. And the end result is what you see. And it was amazing. They did it as a Kickstarter thing. And for 2 years, it ran on Netflix.
So obviously, this video would not be complete without Greg doing a couple impressions.
Austin was not politically correct. He was from the 60s. So if you see a couple, I might walk up to a couple and people go, oh, look, there's Austin Powers. And I go, hello, hello, hello. How are you, man? It's groovy to see you. Yeah, baby. And then I'll look at the girl and I'll go, oh my God. I'll look at him and I'll go, does she belong to you? And he'll go, yeah. And I'll go, nice job, man. Yeah. I also impersonate Jack Sparrow. I walk up and I'm a little tipsy and I go, oh, hello, love. It's nice to meet you. Are you feeling good this evening? And they go, yeah. And I rub their arm and I go, oh, yes, you are. Where they have to have a distinct character for me. Something that's a little over the top. This is my impersonation of Andy Warhol without the costume and the wig and everything.
I had a great time speaking of Greg. He is clearly a very strong performer, and what he has that many artists do not have is a very strong mind for business. Through hard work, he was able to turn his passion into a career, and I love that now he helps other artists turn their passions into careers as well. And of course, it's always great to speak to someone who understands the need to create and to perform.
I'm an entertainer and a celebrity impersonator. If there's a camera, I'm jumping in front of that baby.
I understand completely.